Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with my UFC 116 main card predictions. First off, some unfortunate news. Thiago Silva has pulled out of his fight with Tim Boesch due to a back injury. But UFC newcomer Todd Brown has stepped up and is taking the fight with Boesch, so that's going to go on as scheduled. And just adjusting my pick there, I think Boesch is basically going to do the same thing to Brown that I thought Silva was going to do to Boesch. So second or third round knockout or TKO for Boesch there is what I see happening. And as far as the main card goes, they've got a very distinct Brazil versus USA theme going on. They've got a fighter from Brazil and a fighter versus from the USA on each of the main card fights. So first up is a heavyweight fight between Roy Nelson and Junior Dos Santos. Dana White has confirmed that the winner of this fight will get a title shot against either Brock Lesnar or Cain Velasquez. The winner of that fight in October. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. Both guys are coming off two big knockout wins in their last two fights. Nelson knocked out Brendan Shaw back in December to win the Ultimate Fighter heavyweights, and knocked out Stefan Struve back at Ultimate Fight Night 21. He knocked 40 seconds, got a knockout of the night there. Dos Santos knocked out Gilbert Yvel back at UFC 108 in January, and knocked out Gabriel Gonzaga most recently at UFC on Versus. And that got knockout of the night as well. So both guys are coming off knockouts. It should be a very exciting fight. I mean, the obvious choice for this fight would be to go with Junior Dos Santos because Roy Nelson just doesn't look like he has the physique of a true great mixed martial artist. But at the same time, he's legit. He's knocked out a couple tough guys. He beat Frank Mir in a grappling contest back in 2003. So he's got the skills. He's well-rounded, as Joe Rogan said. Excuse the pun. It's something on my screen. But Dos Santos has got some huge power. He's 11-1. He's 5-0 here in the UFC, and I am gonna go Junior Dos Santos to win this fight by knockout. I'm gonna go with the second round. I think he's gonna kind of push Big Country around a little bit in the first round, wear him out, and then finish him off in the second round. And I know Dos Santos' ground game is kind of a question mark because Nelson does have that great jiu-jitsu, and on the Ultimate Fighter he would take guys down and just get them inside control and crucifix and just rain down elbows until the ref stopped the fight. But I mean, first off, Brendan Schaub got out from under Big Country, and he's not Junior Dos Santos, and Dos Santos trains with Nogueira, so I'm sure his ground game is refined, even if it's not his specialty, because he doesn't need a great ground game with his boxing. So yeah, Dos Santos, second round knockout or TKO. Next fight up is Clay Guida versus Rafael Dos Anjos. Both guys are coming off wins. Dos Anjos is actually riding a 3-fight win streak with wins over Rob Emerson, Kyle Bradley, and most recently Terry Etim back at UFC 112. He won by a nice armbar there. Guida lost to Diego Sanchez and Kenny Florian before beating Shannon Gugarty at UFC on Versus. He beat him by arm triangle choke and got submission of the night because it was the only submission of the night. So in any case, I think this is going to be a very exciting fight. Clay Guida always brings it, and these guys have both been in a couple fight of the nights. They both fought Tyson Griffin to a fight of the night, and they both lost. But yeah, I expect this to be a great fight. I think Guida's wrestling and Dos Anjos' jiu-jitsu are on pretty equal ground, so I think those are going to kind of nullify each other, and they're just going to stand and bang. And, well, when push comes to shove, I think, Guida might try to take it to the ground just if he thinks he's getting the worst of the exchanges, and, if he does that, I know he's perfectly okay with, just laying on guys and grinding out the round. So, that's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to have some big, exciting exchanges. And Guida's gonna use his wrestling if he has to, and win by lay and pray if he has to. But I see Guida taking a decision here. Next fight up, I've heard some different things about what the co-main event is. I've seen on the UFC 116 poster, it's got Hughes versus Almeida along with Silva versus Sonnen. But I think Alves versus Fitch would be a much more exciting co-main event. So in any case, I'm going to talk about Hughes versus Almeida next. Both these guys are just legends of the sport. They've been fighting professionally for more than 10 years each. Almeida is on a 3-fight win streak. His last 2 wins have been over Kendall Grove by decision and by Matt Brown or over Matt Brown by choke. I think back at UFC 111 or 112. And Hughes is also on a winning. He's on a 2-fight win streak, beating Matt Serra and Renzo Gracie. Beat Serra by a decision, and Gracie by TKO late in the third round. Almeida, he's got some of the best jiu-jitsu at the welterweight division, and he's a former king of pancrase. Had the incident where he choked out Nate Marquardt, and then when he let go, Marquardt punched him, and then Renzo Gracie ran out and kicked Marquardt in the face. But he's got great jiu-jitsu. He's doing well here in the UFC. Matt Hughes obviously holds the record for most wins inside the octagon with 17. He's defended his title more times than anyone else with 8 title defenses. And, he's been winning fights in the UFC for a long time, and I know he's lost to a few really good jiu-jitsu guys. He got submitted by BJ Penn, submitted by George St. Pierre. He's lost twice to Dennis Hallman. So there's those losses, but at the same time he's also beaten some really good jiu-jitsu black belts. He has beaten BJ Penn, he's beaten GSP. 1 out of the 3 times. He's beaten both Gracies, Matt Serra. So I see Hughes, using his wrestling to even keep it on the feet and use some striking here, because that's what he's been doing, and I see Hughes taking a unanimous decision. Next fight up is the rematch that everyone has been waiting for. Thiago Alves versus John Fitch. They first fought at Ultimate Fight Night 2 back in 2006. And in that fight, Alves was standing over Fitch while Fitch was on his back, raining down punches, and Fitch caught him with an up kick. Hurt Alves and was able to reverse him and mount him and finish him with strikes. And this fight's they've been trying to get this rematch going for a while. It was supposed to happen UFC. I want to say 106. I could be wrong with that. It was definitely supposed to happen at UFC 111, and then Alves pulled out due to something they found while he was doing a brain scan. And then it was supposed to happen at UFC 115, and then now it's finally happening at UFC 116. I'm pretty pumped for this fight. Both guys only have 1 loss since that fight back in Fight Night 2, and those were both to George St. Pierre during title fights. Fitch is coming off a win over Ben Saunders back at UFC 111, because Saunders stepped up from his fight with, I think, Jake Ellenberger to lose to Fitch. And then Alves' last fight was his loss to GSP. But in any case, I kind of see a reversal of roles here. I think Alves is going to outstrike Fitch, obviously, and come away with a TKO in the second round. Maybe hit him with a big knee and drop him and hit him with some punches. At the same time, I could also see Fitch just kind of laying praying in a unanimous decision, because that's what he's been doing lately. But my pick, Alves, TKO second round. And finally, the main event, middleweight championship of the world. The champion Anderson Silva versus the challenger Chael Sonnen. And for those of you who have been paying attention, Sonnen has been doing a great job of hyping this fight by talking all this trash, because there are a lot of people that aren't fans of Silva after Silva's last fight, myself included. I didn't really like him to begin with, but that really solidified my disliking of him. But so not only is he pumping up guys like us, but he's pissing off the Silva fans, so they're going to want to see him get beat up. So either way, I expect this, to be a huge draw, a huge fight. And this is my pick, and it's going to shock some people. I think Chael Sonnen is going to beat Anderson Silva by either a decision or by a ground and pound TKO in the second or third round. I know that's probably going to be an unpopular decision, but first off, Chael Sonnen's a wrestler, so I have to support him, and second off, he's not Anderson Silva. So, I feel like I'm obligated to root for him, and I don't know, we'll see how Anderson responds to all the trash talking Chael's been doing, and, I definitely respect the fact that Silva could finish this fight 3 minutes in, and if he has a chance to, I just hope he does and doesn't, toy with Sonnen like he did with Maia, because he's going to regret that. Yeah, I see Sonnen winning a decision or a TKO. And I've just got 20 seconds left, so I'm just going to ask one quick random question. I recently shaved my head, as those of you who have watched my videos can see, but I've been told I look like Ben Saunders with the sideburns and beard that I've been attempting to grow and the shaved head, so, like this. What do you guys think? So, yeah, comment, tell me what you think, and Take it easy, YouTube.